Oh, he's missed it.
Was there a one who understood him as the wides total mounted? From the dead of the first half to a portrait of the artist after the break, Porrick delivers another Joycean masterpiece for Galway.
Porrick Joyce, good steadying effect here by Joyce. He's at his most expressive. This on his right side, and he has kicked this one. Porrick Joyce at the receiving end, and the umpires look and decide it's another one for Porrick Joyce. Here it comes again.
More creativity. This time from John McDermott. Full marks for artistic merit, none no for technique, as Meath end up wide of the mark.
Giles has got it right.
One of last week's All-Ireland finalists survived their missed penalty, just about. Dublin saved by a last-minute goal? No. Seriously.
Well, he was the one man that was threatening all afternoon, and Tyrone could do nothing to stop him being man of the match at the dying whistle.
G'day, I'm Gary Lyon, and right here behind me is the mighty MCG, the Melbourne Cricket Ground, that right now sits empty. But come October the 12th, there'll be 75,000 people here to watch the Aussies take on Ireland. I've played a lot of footy here at the MCG, and now I'm going to be inside the coach's box, which for me is a whole new ball game. Very familiar with this place here, the MCG. My team Melbourne use this as a home ground. I've played at Melbourne for 16 years. First arrived in 1984 and retired in 1999. So yeah, got very fond memories of the MCG.
Jim Steins there and Dermot Brereton, manager and assistant manager of the Australians.
Dermot Brereton, who had coached the team previously, had to stand down because of other commitments, and yeah, I was asked if I was interested, and you know, of course you would be. It's a great opportunity to be involved in this series, which is growing and growing with each and every year.
Matera on the burst, 40 out, has to kick a goal for them to have a chance.
We've had a meeting with the players already and sent them away with a bit of a program and a ball and to familiarise themselves with it, but we'll get them into camp on the 6th of October, and they'll spend the week leading up to the first game on the 12th.
Early, wrestled down, dragged down by Adam Uze.
I think they set the standard pretty high. They set the bar pretty high to go over to Ireland and win both games over there. It was a terrific effort. So I think that is a standard that we've got to aspire to. Having said that, having a look at the history of games played here, Australia are yet to record a victory over Ireland here in Australia. So, I mean, that's a challenge for us.
And the shot produces the goal for Kieran Whelan. This time it's taken back here by Seamus Moynihan. And that kick has gone high and over the bar.
Well, I know they've got a pretty steely resolve to try and turn things around. I know that, I can't quite pronounce the names right, but Moynihan is back, and Donnelly or one of those fellas is back, who are very highly rated by our boys. Anthony Tohill I'm familiar with, who spent some time at our footy club. I think he's captaining the side. Look, I know that they've got about 9 blokes that have been here before, so they've got experience from that point of view. There are quite a few players that played in last year's series are coming in. I think they've introduced 4 new faces as well, so they seem to me to have a pretty good mix of young and old.
And the youngster in Ty Connelly.
I've watched young Ty Connelly play Sydney in the opportunities that I have, and you know, for him now to go back and play with your fellas is just adds a bit to the series, I reckon.
Little confidence booster for the 20-year-old from County Kerry.
Having seen the tradition that's been established in a short period of time, it's a great thrill. It's a great honour to be coach of this side, and I admire the guys who can go out and play at the elite level and play as well as they do. And I guess to have them under my charge as a coach is, it's a real thrill. And I've got a responsibility to make sure that I come prepared as well as I possibly can to ensure that they can get the most out of this series. This ground is a pretty special, unique place, and I think it might have caught everyone by surprise at how many people came last time. I think there was about 65,000 people. We hope to get 75 plus. They'll be patriotic Australians, and we'd like to win in front of them, no doubt about that.
Jared Campbell just about staying on his feet. Back to Riley it comes once again.
I think it's a terrific spectacle, and it's quick and fast, and it combines the best elements of both Irish football and ours. And it's going to be quick. You're going to run in this game. And if you're not going to run, then you won't be playing. You're going to run hard both ways, and that's the message we'll push to our boys. And we inherit an all-Australian team here. That's the way it is, and we accept that. Some of those guys, a small percentage, may not be that suited to this game. And if that's the case, then their time on the field will be limited. And that's a cold, hard fact of life. We're here to win.
After being forced into retreat from 6 All-Ireland finals, Army officer and leash sniper Sue Ramsbottom hopes for a magnificent 7th.
On Sunday we have great representation from the Army. In the junior game, previous to the senior game, we have 2 members on the panel of the Kildare team. And then on the senior team, you have myself representing Laois, and in the Mayo side you have Denise McDonough, who's playing in the forwards. She's over in Cathal, and then we have an ex-Army member, Diana Hora. So yes, we have great firepower on Sunday from the Army.
One way. This is danger for Monaghan. Sue Ramsbottom, a beautiful little chip.
This is our 8th time now to contest the All-Ireland final. It's my 7th, 8th time, yes, to go this way again. But 96 was our last time to be in Croke Park, and we played Monaghan and went to a replay. And I suppose that was our closest time to get there. And this year we hope to make it different.
Laois and Parmacool.
The Tyrone game was one of the most important games any Laois person has played in. It was important that we won this and went out, and that's what we did. It gave us the right to play in this All-Ireland final. Tyrone were a very, very good side.
We're to trust in the park, because I shouldn't cut to get close to how to trust on against Sue Ramsbottom.
We have a lot to learn from that game. We weren't perfect, and we're far from perfect. And hopefully we can learn and improve our tactics for the game against Mayo. You are going to worry about different players from the opposition. You have to take in consideration. Poor Staunton is a fabulous player. Diana Hora is a fabulous player. But we have our players too on our side. We have a very, very strong panel. And it's our job and it's our duty to go out there on Sunday and make sure that we keep these people down to a low-scoring game. If you look at the Mayo team for the last few years, they've contested 2 All-Irelands. This is their 3rd contest. They're a young team. They're not afraid. And I think they are a credit, that Mayo team. They came through when there was a time when men's football in Mayo was in trouble. And they're there again, 3rd year. It's a great achievement for any team.
The very first All-Ireland ladies senior football champions of the 21st century.
Well, we have the experience, even though we haven't been there till '96. We've done so much over the time to make ourselves, even though people don't think we have the experience, we have. We've a lovely mixture now. We have a lovely mixture of youth and experience. And I think that's what it takes to get and get up there and win. And I think we have it this year.
73 years ago today, Liam McCarthy passed on, but his name has reverberated down the hurling decades since.
Liam McCarthy was the man who designed and donated the McCarthy Cup to the GAA in 1921. Some may think it's strange that a man who was born in London could go on to be one of the greatest names in the GAA, but in fact his mother was from Limerick and his father was from Ballygarvan in Cork, and they instilled a sense of pride, Irish pride, into the man. So by the time he had got to 16 years of age, he had formulated his own ideas on the politics and athletics in Ireland. As an exile in London, he picked up the game and he was forming a club called the Exile of Erin's Club around about the time that the GAA were formed in Ireland. He used to cycle from Peckham up to Clapham Common here every Saturday, and he'd gather all his friends together and they'd start playing the game. But he played the game with an organisational point of view with it. He liked to be in charge, he liked to tell people how to play, he liked to show people how to play. And then he got the idea that if the GAA ever came to Britain, that he would like to further the game of hurling through the GAA. football in those days were taking much bigger precedent than hurling. And he had a huge passion for hurling and he didn't want to see it die. So having got involved in the GAA and having retired from the GAA, he wanted to leave something behind that he thought would make sure that the game was played year after year after year. So he got the idea to present a cup to Croke Park. The money was raised through an illegal fund that he had money saved with Michael Collins, and that went towards the designing and the buying of the cup. And the cup was then presented at GAA and asked to be called the Liam McCarthy Cup and to go in perpetuity to the senior hurling final.
I believe this is where Liam lived in his last years, and as far as I know, this is where he actually passed away in 1928. My great-grandfather is buried here in Camberwell Old Cemetery, and he laid in an unmarked grave for over 70 years. Liam's wife Alice died only 12 days after he did, and he was obviously a very devoted husband, and it is possible that Alice died of a broken heart. My father had written what he called the Irish Connection, and this was a series of sort of stories and papers that he'd collated on my great-grandfather. And a cousin of mine, John Meany, asked me if he could use this information because he was going to compile a book. And with that information, he managed to locate the unmarked grave. We were clearing my mother's garage. Amongst all the rubbish, we found some letters, one of which was from the family of Patrick Pearce, offering condolences on the death of Liam McCarthy. And there were other letters there from Michael Collins and letters from Liam McCarthy to Collins. And I thought it would be a good idea if these were possibly on show in the museum at Croke Park. So I approached them and donated various things to them, and also suggested that maybe they would put up a permanent memorial to Liam McCarthy, which they agreed to during last year.
Hands over the Liam McCarthy Cup to Tommy Dunn.
The fact that it's still being played from Croke Park must make Liam McCarthy a very, very proud man. I mean, he's looking down on us now, he'll have a smile on his face, knowing that the cup is being played for every year and that his name has been cast in Irish history as keeping the game of hurling alive.
At season's end, breaking ball celebrates the preventative arts as demonstrated by the men of substance on the last line. Barry Heffernan keeps Crossmaglen on course for a first club All-Ireland.
Another great stop, Sean O'Brien. It was beaten away by Barry Heffernan, but it's still not out of play.
Gavin Tonra shuts out Louth in the dying minutes. Cormac Sullivan holds Galway at bay.
And Meehan came so close to getting a second All-Ireland final goal.
That was such an opportunity for Declan Meehan, but great goalkeeping from Cormac Murphy.
Barry Heffernan still keeping Crossmaglen on course.
Towards Alan Cronin. Here's a chance for Nemo Rangers. Oh, and that's a brilliant save by Barry Heffernan. 9, David Niblock, who got free. That is a fantastic bit of goalkeeping. It'll give his team confidence.
And number one at number one, take a bow, Tony Blake.
Into Lynch from Brennan. And he gets the kick and it's saved by Blake. That's a second fantastic Fantastic save by Tony Blake, but that's the pick of the save so far.
Youth may be wasted on the young, but with 2 All-Irelands on the horizon, Tyrone Minor and under-21 Peter Donnelly bucks the trend.
We played Mayo in the All-Ireland semi-final. Pretty scrappy. 2 teams were nervous. Maybe first time in Croke Park. It was a big occasion for us. But again, lucky we pulled through in that one. We just got away from them. We were underdogs going in against Dublin. A lot of the papers and the media were criticising us maybe from the amount of wides and all we had against Mayo.
Anthony Shigetti Owen, Peter Donnelly, Bultana point and Parna point to get Peter Donnelly.
We went 5 in front with 15 to go and we thought maybe we had it. Dublin showed great character to come back and draw it. We went again 3 points in front and then maybe we thought we'd kill time, but then again, you know, Dublin hit the sucker punch. It was a long ball in. Our full-back Dermot Yarden roached back and went for it. And then another cornerback came in and collided with him, which left the ball there, which David O'Callaghan got it, and he was lucky enough. I think he sidestepped John Devine, then whatever way, I think he hit it with his right foot, but it was going in, and then Tommy McGuigan with his best efforts tried to kick it away, but it was too late. At the time we had thought we'd have lost the All-Ireland final, but because we were in front and they hit the goal. But, you know, we had to think, get our thoughts together. We're glad we're still there. It's the Tom Markham still to be won. It's been great fortnight playing for the minors and the under-21s in 2 All-Ireland finals. I suppose I'll be more concentrating on Saturday on the minor final again. It will give me a great lift if we win going into the under-21 finals. It's great to be part of the under-21s. I'm playing with a lot of senior footballers and I'm maybe marking a lot of them as well. But it's a great experience for me coming into the under-21 team. I was just glad to be part of the panel at the start of the year, and it's just been sort of a dream to play with some of them lads, and I'm in an All-Ireland final now and I'm definitely not complaining. Mayo at under-21 level are always very good. Maybe the advantage we have is maybe we've got more competitive football. The last time they played their All-Ireland semi-final was way back in May. But again, it's going to be a hard one to predict, and hopefully we'll pull through in that one as well.
Wrap the green flag around them, it's the goals of the year. Finan Murray exploits the creakiness of the Waterford defence.
Failing to stop him. Oh, Murray! Oh, such cheekiness! Waiting underneath.
Colin Moran uses a fancy ribbon to wrap up the match with Longford.
Colin Moran having dash and speed. One of the goals of the championship season, have no doubt about it.
John Crowley sets a painful trend for Dublin in the quarter-final replay.
Crowley, Paddy Christie out of the game. Chance for Kerry and for Crowley. He's still going. Oh, super goal from Johnny Crowley. Paddy Christie's mistake. He is just lethal.
Corrick Joyce.
Just to remind us what the league looks like, and when we first noticed Matthew Clancy.
The finish at the other end was quite simply superb.
Top 2 goals of the year, but didn't manage to get on the field for Galway's All-Ireland. What you might call strength in depth.
It's Declan Meehan being roared on by the thousands of Galway fans who are here. Nicely inside to Savage. Sean Marty Lockhart trying to force him wide. He skips past that challenge. Into the clear comes Clancy. And he scores! Matthew Clancy!
Once again, held the ball up very cleverly, gave a great pass in to Clancy coming through. And young Clancy, that son of Kevin, drove it.
On on the weekend of the last Senior All-Ireland of the season as we recap on the